Sons of Anarchy was suggested to me as one of the best shows I'll ever watch, on par with the likes of Breaking Bad and Ozark. The show dives into the lives of a 1% motorcycle club. From the beginning of the show, there is tension between Vice President Jack Steller and Club President Clay Morrow over how the club should operate. Jack's discovery of his father's manifesto was the catalyst for this tension. His father, John Teller, was a founder of the club. His mother, Gemma, is controlling and at times comes across as incestuous towards her son Jax. She is described as the puppeteer who controls the club through her influence over Clay and Jax. Season 1 was a good introduction to the main characters and world building. I am not alone when I say Season 2 was a great step up from Season 1. And for a moment, I was hopeful. I really thought I was on my way to something amazing. Then, Season 3 happened, and all of the things I had been ignoring about the previous two seasons became apparent, and they only snowballed even more in its last two seasons. This show has three main problems: repetition, juice, and sexual assault. Repetition. The show gets stuck in a loop and never gets out. Jax wants to get the club out of guns and go legit to honor his father's wishes. Something goes wrong, the club does something illegal to fix it, someone dies, Jax says, "One more time," and stays. Gemma lies to Jax and Clay, they find out, they forgive her. Samcro has a problem with another gang, they have a sit down, they betray each other, there's a shootout where no one from the Sons dies. Then they have another sit down. After season 2, using it all. Season 3, 6, and 7 feel like filler that exists just to hit the 13 episodes mark. If you cut those 3 seasons, you could tell the exact same story in 4 seasons without losing anything important. Juice is the perfect example of how bad the writing gets. He starts as a loyal, likable member who do anything for the club. And it would have been interesting to see him fall into being a traitor if the reason was actually reasonable. I cannot be convinced that someone like Juice would rather be a traitor than admit he's half black. Worst case scenario, they would have just kicked him out of the club. And for all of that build-up, the members don't even really care when they find out. Juice was shown to be goofy, but he was the club's hacker, and that takes a certain level of intelligence and reasoning. What they did to him in prison added absolutely nothing to his character and just felt like torture for shock value, which leads me to my next issue: sexual assault as a plot device. This is the show's biggest problem. The writers use sexual assault not to explore trauma, but as a cheap shock value to move the plot forward. Gemma's sexual assault is used for the sole purpose of bringing Jax and Clay together, which only lasts for a few episodes anyway. It happens to Otto, to Juice, to Gemma, and to Gemma and Clay together, and they try to replicate that same kind of scene again later with Nero. It stops being about the characters and just becomes an exploitative crutch. I just want to ask some extra grievances I have with the show. The show suffers from forcing the plot to be moved by Gemma's actions. Clay overstayed his welcome by at least 2 seasons. Like they should have killed him off sooner than they actually did, because by the point he was actually killed, it didn't matter. And they never gave the show any time to breathe or for the characters to have a good moment. I feel like after season 1, everything just became problems, problems. We never actually saw bonding in a meaningful way. The show had a clear endgame, but struggled to get there cohesively. Sons had a great premise, great characters, and a fantastic first 2 seasons, but it shows quantity over quality and stretched itself until there was nothing of substance left. I want to put out a disclaimer. I'm not hating on this show, simply criticizing its shortcomings. Let me know your opinion down below, but please be kind. See you later. Goodbye.